Hey, brother. So, I hope this finds you well. I miss you, man, and I'm so sorry to hear about everything that's happening with your neck. But I'm really glad that you reached out, and I put together just a little short sequence for you. I hope you like it, and if you have any questions, just let me know. And I know that you said, that you wanted to not only get some good stretches for your neck, but you wanted to feel more connected to your body, right? Instead of everything feeling separate, you wanted to feel like a part of a whole, which I think is such a gift of yoga, because that's what it does. And I had a teacher once say to me, that the body always wants to exist in the past. Like we carry with us all of our shit from the past in our body, and that our mind always wants to exist in the future. And that yoga is what helps to bring our body and our mind together in the present, which I think is really cool. And then I would take that one step further and say that our breath is what keeps the body and the mind in the present. So if you want to feel more connected to your body, connect to breath, because that's what's going to keep you in the present moment. That's what's going to keep you grounded in what's happening right here, right now. And when that happens, you start to feel this unified connection between body, mind, and spirit. And that's the whole point of yoga. So to start, let's come to child's pose. In child's pose, you want your knees nice and wide. I guess I'll show you this way. Big toes touching behind you. And then from there, we reach forward with the hands and then rest the forehead and the forearms on the ground. This room's pretty small. I apologize. So from here, you really want to focus on the points of contact between your body and the ground. And then wherever your body is touching the ground, encourage a bit more weight and softness. And then right away, find your breath in and out through the nose. And see if you can let the breath drop all the way down towards the base of your pelvis. So your full torso is involved with your inhales and exhales. And then you can also play with holding the breath at the top before you let the exhale come, and then play with holding at the bottom on empty as well. So feel free to pause the tape and stay here as long as you like. It's a very restorative posture, very supported for the neck and the back. And then from here, you can start to rock the head from side to side, almost like you're trying to massage the forehead down into the ground. You can keep doing that if that feels nice. Maybe pausing to one side. If that feels a little bit sticky, you can stay there. And then maybe switch to the other side. And then from there, you can walk your hands back towards your knees and come to sit upright. Look a little closer. And then we'll move into some neck stretches here. So to start, just get the shoulders warming up. So lift the shoulders up to the ears and then roll them back. And all the while, keep focusing on the breath. The breath is also what's going to allow the body to relax. And when we're relaxed, that's when we start to heal. And then roll it the other way. So up and then forward, up and then forward. And then from there, you can just let the chin drop towards the chest, stretching out through the back of the neck, and then counter that by looking up, letting the throat open as the back of the head comes heavily back. And then forward, and then back. And then from here, come back to neutral, and then drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Come back to center, and drop it to the left. So you can keep doing that as many times as you'd like. And then if you want to add on, if that feels okay, bring the right ear towards the right shoulder, and then bring the right hand to the left side of the face. And that gives it a little bit of traction to bring the neck a little bit closer towards the right side. And then from here, you can start to bring the left hand out as if you're trying to reach down to touch the ground. This gives a really nice stretch through the neck, the upper back and shoulders. And you can take this one step further by bending the left elbow and bringing the left forearm behind the back and wrapping the left fingers around the right waist. And then let the left shoulder drop down. So you'll feel the shoulder blade descend down the back. This is a very big stretch for the side of the neck. And then to let that go, relax both arms by your side and drop the chin towards the chest, and then roll it all the way to the left. And then the left hand comes to the right side of the head, and then maybe reaching out through the right fingertips. And then bending the right arm and bringing it behind. And all the while, keep expanding the inhales and the exhales, letting the rib cage be very active and open here with every breath. And then drop the chin back to neutral, relax the arms, and then gently lift the chin back to center. And then from here, interlace your fingers in front of you and press the palms away as you tuck the chin and round through the spine. So I'll give you a side look. So it's like this. And then to counter that, we bring the hands behind, interlace the fingers, reach the knuckles away, and lift the chest straight up. And then you can do that as many times as you like. I like to breathe out as I round, and then inhale to reach the hands back, and then exhale to reach the knuckles away and open the chest. So you can do that as many times as you like. And then we'll continue that same kind of movement, but now coming onto our hands and knees for cat-cow. So we start with a neutral spine as best as possible, and then we look up as we drop the belly towards the ground, point the tailbone back, lift the chest and the chin, and then counter that by pressing the ground away from you with your hands, rounding out through the spine, tucking chin to chest and pointing the tailbone forward. And you can do this as many times as you like. It's really great for spine mobility. It's great for connecting to legs, hands, rounding out, engaging the core to help lift the spine up. Inhale, roll the shoulders back and down, lift the chest, open the throat, look up, relax the belly, and then exhale, engage the belly, hugging heart to spine, tucking the chin. And after a few of those, you can then come back to neutral, and then walk the knees back about 2 inches, tuck the toes under, and then you can start to lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Now for downward dog, I always like to instruct bending the knees, especially at the beginning, just in case the hamstrings are a bit tighter. But this is a great, great position to really connect to the earth and then connect to your own body. The whole body's involved here. Hands, feet, legs, arms. So you can close your eyes. Might feel nice to just wag your tail side to side. I like to try to roll my shoulders a bit, just checking in, noticing if I'm holding on to any tension, maybe shaking the head no or nodding it yes. And then from there, bend the knees even more, look forward, and then you can start to tiptoe your feet towards your hands. And then fold forward over your legs, bending the knees. And then you can slide the hands up the shins and inhale to lengthen the spine, halfway lift. And then fold on an exhale, let that go. And then root down through the feet to rise up by walking the hands up the legs, nice and slow, rounding up through the spine until the head is the very last thing to come up. And then from here, we can move through, I lost you. We can move through sun breaths. So sun breaths just look like this. You start in Tadasana, you stand nice and tall, and you feel as if your legs are an extension of the ground below you. So feel the energy of the earth come up through the legs into the body, allowing you space to grow tall, and strength here to take up space. Take up space, says Medea. Tell me you remember that. Thank you, Candace Brown. So from here, take an inhale, reach the hands up to the sky, and then bend the knees, bring the hands together and fold over your legs. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reaching wide with the hands, lifting high, look up to the hands. Exhale, slide the hands to the heart. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, lift. So it's continuous movement with breath. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, taking your time, reach high, stretch out from the waist, and then exhale, hands to heart. So you can do that as many times as you like to get the breath going, to get the body moving, to feel connected to body and breath at the same time. And then to add on to that, you start the same way. Inhale, lift the hands, bend the knees, exhale, fold. We always want to move nice and slow and controlled with the breath. Inhale, halfway lift. And then from here, exhale, fold, and we're going to step the right foot back to a nice long lunge, but then we're just going to drop the right knee down to the ground. And then from there, we can stack the hands on top of the left thigh as we send the hips forward. So in this supported position, the earth is really holding us here in this lunge. There is an element of balance, but we can also start to expand through the torso as we lift the hands up. This might feel nice, sending the breath in towards the chest, maybe coming into even a little bit of a back bend as the hips sink forward. Might also be nice to reach the hands behind and interlace the fingers and reach the knuckles away, bringing the shoulder blades closer together for a chest opener. From there, fingertips come back down to the ground. We tuck the back toe under, press the hands down, and then step the left foot back to downward facing dog. And then we come into the other side, bend the knees, look forward, and step the right foot forward between the hands and drop the left knee down. From there, we stack the hands on top of the right thigh. We can stay here, or we can reach the hands up and send the hips forward. From here, we want the biceps to frame the ears and the pinky fingers to come forward. So that's an external rotation at the shoulder blades, or at the shoulder joints, I should say. Lift the fingers high without lifting the shoulders up towards the ears. Keep them down, and then maybe reach the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, reach the knuckles away, open the chest for a back bend. Stay as long as you like. From here, hands come back down to frame the front foot, tuck the back toe under, lift the back knee, and then spring forward to forward fold over your legs. The knees never have to be locked or straight. From here, halfway lift, inhale, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, lifting high with the fingertips, and then exhale, hands to heart. Another nice variation here is to lift the hands, and then exhale, fold. Try not to hit my head. Halfway lift, inhale. And then exhale, fold, bend the knees, step the right foot back this time. And then from here, from your lunge, you can come into a twist by either bringing the right hand onto the left thigh and reaching the left hand back. Or if it feels okay in the back, you can bring the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Hands come together in front of the chest and come into a twist. So I'll show you from this side. So it looks like this. If you're feeling strong and steady in the balance, you can tuck the back toes under and lift the back leg up. Otherwise, keep it on the ground. Breathe. So focus more here on lengthening out through the spine rather than wrenching into a big twist. You have to be really gentle with the back. And then come back to center. Hands down, step it back, downward dog. Might feel nice to pedal the feet out, shift the hips side to side. And then from here, stepping the right foot forward for the other side. From here, left hand can come onto the thigh, and the right hand can reach back. Or you can bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Bring the hands together in front of your chest. Gentle pressure between the hands to bring the elbows wide and broad and across the chest, coming into your twist. And you can stay here for 3 to 5 breaths if that feels nice. And then you can come back to center. I'm just going to turn around to show you. And then you can go ahead and bring your knees nice and wide. Once again, big toes to touch. Send the hips back for child's pose once again. So if the hips are really high here in child's pose and you don't feel comfortable, if you're more looking like this, and you can't bring the bum closer to the heels, that's totally fine. You can always bring like a bolster or a pillow under your bum, lots of things, or a block, or like a big thick book or something like that, just to help stack your hips up above your heels. And then it'll take the pressure off of your knees too. So if you're really tight in the thighs, I know a lot of guys are really tight in the thighs, this is hard to do. But even just sitting like this is a really nice stretch too. But if you can come to child's pose, great. And then a nice stretch here for the shoulder and neck looks like this. You cross your right arm under and reach it up. So the palm is now facing up towards the sky, and then I lie my right shoulder on the ground. Now to start, I look towards the left, but if it's comfortable and okay in the neck, for a nice counter stretch, we can actually look towards the right, resting the left temple on the ground. And if this feels really good, pause the video and just stay here. Otherwise, you can come into the other side, stretching the right arm forward, left hand comes towards the chest, flip the palm up, and then reach it up to the side. Start by looking towards the left hand, and then we can look away if that feels okay. So my mobility on this side is a little bit more restricted than the other side. And that's okay. Again, feel free to stay and pause here. Another nice stretch in child's pose, you can't really see my hands, is to bend the elbows and then bring the heels of the hands to the base of the skull and then walk the elbows forward. And that gives you a nice stretch through the triceps and through the lats in the back, also through the traps. Nice. And then from there, you can come forward all the way onto your belly. This is what I was kind of telling you about on Messenger. In belly Shavasana, you can rest your arms by your side, palms facing up, shoulders rolling forward, and then bring your left ear to the ground and just stretch here. Let everything relax. And then the more that you can breathe here, the more space you create in your back body. And the more breath that you can find, the more relaxed the body will be. And when we relax, that's when we learn to heal. And that's when we feel connected to body, to mind, and to spirit. So again, stay as long as you like. And then switch sides. Almost feel like you're exaggerating the breath. The more that the body can quiet and find stillness, the mind will follow suit. And then coming back to center, compress back onto your hands and knees. And then from here, we're going to come onto our back. And from our back, we're going to come into a little twist, so bringing the right knee in towards the chest. This is a really nice stretch for the legs. The more that you can ground down the left thigh, the more you can also access a stretch into the hip flexors, which feels really nice. Especially if you're sitting a lot, if your job needs you to be sitting, or if you're driving a lot, this gets really tight. So this is a really nice stretch for that. And then from there, left hand on the right knee, right arm out to the side, we drag the left knee across the body, and we try to keep the shoulders neutral. So try to bring the right shoulder back down to the ground. And if this is really uncomfortable with the left leg straight, you can bend both knees and come into the twist this way. And again, stay as long as you like. And then eventually, we'll come to the opposite side. So to start, bring the left knee in, encouraging the thigh in towards the belly, rooting down the right leg as best as you can. If you let the breath drop deep into the abdomen, even though the breath can't go there, obviously, but if you visualize the breath moving down, that will help to deepen the breath, that will help to relax the muscles around the diaphragm, allowing you to bring in more oxygen, which also helps to heal the body. And then from here, we drag that knee across using the right hand. Left arm comes out to the side for our twist. And then if this is too much, and you can't ground down through the left shoulder, totally fine. bend both knees and bring them towards the right. You can always use the right hand on the outside of the left knee for a bit of leverage if you like. And then from there, come back to center. And then if you'd like, you can bring the soles of the feet together, knees nice and wide for Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. That one's really nice to help relax the groin muscles, the inner thighs, the adductors. And then finally, when you're ready, you can extend both legs out into Shavasana for a rest. And the idea in Shavasana is that it's a time to allow everything to integrate, everything that you just did. So the body moves, and then we find stillness, and we let go of every practice. We let go of breathing, we let go of muscle activation, we relax our thoughts. It's absolutely nothing to hold on to. In practicing something like Shavasana for 15 or 20 minutes, it requires a lot of trust. We have to trust that we're doing enough just by lying here. We have to trust that the body knows how to heal itself, and often we just have to get out of its way. But the more that we can find connection to our breath, we stay grounded in the present moment, which is the only thing that's real. And our stress and anxiety starts to fade away, even if our body isn't doing exactly what we want it to do. We trust that it's enough. We meet ourselves where we are today with love and acceptance, knowing that every day that we practice is going to feel different. And in this way, we gain a lot of patience for our body, knowing that it's always trying its best. And then you can stay here as long as you like. Well, that's about it. I hope that that helps, man. Let me know what you think. If you have feedback, I thought, I just did one that's about 20 minutes long, but I can make another one that's longer, or if you have other parts of your body that you feel are really tight and you want to make specific sequences around loosening those muscles up, or if there's things you want to strengthen, we can do that as well. But this is a nice little sequence to just start to feel connected to your body and get mobility in the shoulders and the neck. I hope that helps. Namaste, my friend, and I hope I get to see you soon. Come to Toronto to visit. Come see one of my shows. All right, love you, man. Talk to you soon.